So I'm here with Amy J. Wilson, and we're just discussing her work that is a part of Ceramic Panic. So the cartoon was the starting point, a fish looking at something designed to look like a fish. At what point did that loop stop being satirical and start being something else?
So it's this cartoon that was in a book. I think I must have read it on my undergraduate, and it was about kind of illusions and art. And the author of this kind of chapter had this amazing cartoon of a this cartoon fish looking at this kind of cartoon of a lure, like a fish lure in the shape of a fish. And there was something that really excited me and has continued to excite me about, you know, this idea of like animals looking at animals, like this kind of feedback loops that you enter into. And that's what I was trying to do with this new body of work, where I'm trying to capture that kind of humor. There's also like a serious kind of element of that where, the images we put out into the world inform the images we create.
So you moved the pore hole from the mouth to the body cavity. That's a quiet but significant decision. What changed when you made that move?
I work as a technician alongside being a visual artist, and I'm really interested in the knowledge of a process, meaning you can make really specific decisions like that. So previously I'd put it in the mouths of the, animal kind of images or forms that I was working with. But with the fish, it was kind of exciting, this idea that it could actually be like that, the kind of gutting of the fish, it being in the belly. And I think it works really well because it's got these kind of like eggs spilling out, and you can have this really nice contrast between the sort of glazed, the shiny glazed exterior, and then this like matte exterior. And there's something nice about the threshold between those two.
The bait eggs are artificial forms designed to attract, but so in a sense is the whole work. Does that make the
Mm.
viewer complicit in the same logic as the fish?
I think it's really hard not to be complicit. I think that's true of like most things in the art world, whether that's image or other stuff. So I think, yeah, definitely inevitably you're part of that feedback loop. I think hopefully it's doing it in like a knowing way, but also like people come away from the work and think that it's a bit silly.
And the waterfall, it appears twice, as a shaped object and as a photographic image laid over it. What does it mean to you that neither version is the real thing?
Because I come from a printmaking background, but obviously now I've moved more into sculpture. So surface is really important to me. And it's been really nice to take that kind of attention to surface and then marry it with form. That's happening with that waterfall work. You've got this photographic image of the waterfall, and then you've got this stylized waterfall that I've kind of designed, and then it's been laser cut out of acrylic and then bent further kind of into the shape of a waterfall. So you've got these sort of lots of reference points, and I think of my sculpture, it's not really abstract, it's not figurative, it's kind of reference based. So that's like really important to the work.
So slip casting produces a hollow shell. You've talked about the internal logic of the process. Uh, is there something about emptiness or the interior that keeps coming back in your work?
The idea that you can like look in, maybe you could like peer inside and there'd be nothing there. There's something, and this is true of like some of the more digital work I do, where I work with 3D scanning, where you're just capturing the skin or the surface of something. You're not capturing the volume or the weight. And there's always this like contrast between the exterior and the interior. And particularly like with this work, I was interested in the interior being a bit fleshy inside, even though the kind of form is taken from a lure, which is artificial and plastic. And then that's kind of why I reintroduced the fake kind of eggs inside. So there's this sort of like layer of materials and logic.